It was a Bison basketball sweep in the Summit League Big Sky Challenge. We'll recap that. Plus, 2 of Cheyenne's state championship volleyball players are here today. Hot Mic begins now.
Hot Mic with Dom Izzo.
Really? Really, Dom?
No. I like what Dom's doing.
Okay.
Dom Izzo.
Jeez, come on, Dom. What do you think I am, a magician?
Yeah, I'm fired up, Dom. What else could I say?
Absolutely. It was great to get on the field, and then Dom came up to me, and I'm trying to walk away from me. I just wanted to enjoy myself out there.
Hot Mic.
Great job.
There's got to be some kind of intelligent question about something.
Coach Dom Izzo, WDAY in Fargo, North Dakota.
Can you give me a layup or something?
Hot Mic. Presented by Northwestern Mutual.
That program is second to none.
On the networks of WDAY.
You know, if it's not about sports, I find it very hard to concentrate.
Here's Dom Izzo.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome to a Summit Starter Edition of Hot Mic on WDAY Extra. KSFL TV, good morning everybody in Sioux Falls, KNBN in western South Dakota, and all parts in between. On the World Wide Web on Inforum.com. Happy Thursday. Getting ready for a chilly one today. It was a little cold at the bus stop, but we grinded, we got ready, and got the Jackman off to school. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. I am Dom Izzo, host of said program. Quick word of thanks to everybody who gave us a shout-out yesterday that watched our signing day spectacular. We got a lot of feedback on our show yesterday, so I appreciate that. We had some great guests. Our high school guys were tremendous. If you missed any of it, you can podcast it now at Inforum.com. You can watch a full replay of the show on WDAY Plus as well. It was really good. We had a few of the incoming signees. Polisic was here, which was electric as you expect. So that was good stuff yesterday. And they may not be done. I think he hinted at that when he was here. But now our focus is on to the football game Saturday. And I'll just say this, because I was chatting with a few fans at the women's basketball game last night because I had a little more time since we weren't televising it, which is a whole other kettle of fish to yell about. Because I had people ask me, well, what do you think the attendance going to be? And it's not going to be good. You know, Polisic was saying in the press conference Tuesday that he was hoping for 15. It might be half of that. And all I'll just say is, what are we doing? What else are you doing on Saturday? There's an unbeaten football team playing here, right? They've got a quarterback who's up for the Player of the Year award in the division. They've got a wide receiver that's going to be drafted in the National Football League. It's not like their highlight guys are, and this is going to be taken as a total slight, as a defensive tackle or an offensive lineman. No, the quarterback and the wide receiver, the running back is from West Fargo. I just don't understand if you're... And if they win, I think the attendance might be worse next week with Rhode Island or UC Davis here. If you're saving up for the semifinals, I'm just telling you, they did not lose a game. They dominated this entire season. I get if you're, well, why am I going to go? They're going to win by 30. Okay, I don't know what else to tell you. It blows my mind. I was on the Bison ticket website yesterday, and there are tons of seats available, which is just mine. I'm watching, video from 10, 12 years ago for the opening round game, just packed, loud, when the Jackrabbits and the Bison played in the second round in 2014. Awesome atmosphere. And we've beat this topic to death. I just wanted to, because I had people ask me when I was at the game last night, and I wish I had a better answer. Outside of you're very, very spoiled. I'm not sure what else this team could do. They played one-score game this year. The team that they are playing Saturday, they were up 2 going into the fourth quarter and ended up winning by 17. I mean, not sure what else they can. I understand if you got Christmas parties, you got to go shopping. Okay, you can do that between 9 and 11:58. And here's the best: the game's at noon. It's not even at 2:30, which I know people aren't thrilled about when the game's in the middle or later afternoon. No, you got the rest of the day. You could still go to your party. I'll save a little bit more for tomorrow because I don't think it's going to get any better. I'm going to do a little bit more research on it, but I don't think it's going to get much better between now and noon on Saturday. I'm going to hammer at Bison game day. I'm going to tell you that right now. We got a lot to get to today. We're a packed show. We're going to spend the gamut here on a bunch of stuff, including on my friend Chris Kleiman. I can say friend. As a guy, I was a colleague. I covered him. We're going to get a few minutes there on what went down yesterday. But what also went down yesterday was the opening day of the Summit League Big Sky Challenge. We can call it the last. We got that news from Matt Larson on Tuesday that this is going to be it between these two conferences, which the Summit has dominated in the first 2 years. This year, a little bit different because I'm not sure the bottom end of the Summit, how good it is compared to the bottom end of the Big Sky. We're not talking about the bottom here to start, though. The Bison men were on the road last night facing the preseason favorite in the Big Sky Conference, the University of Montana in Missoula. And the Bison looked pretty sharp last night. Damari Wheeler-Thomas was great last night. The Grizz got off to an early lead in a game that was nip and tuck throughout. The Bison actually took a lead midway through the first half, and when we're in control for a majority of the first half. This bounce pass there, look at Trayson Anderson get up and swat it away. Damari Wheeler-Thomas was sensational. Scores on the other end, gives the Bison a 1-point lead. Early second half, Bison up 5. Markai Strickland, who was great last night. This is nifty. Wheeler-Thomas drives baseline, puts the Bison up by 7. Same score here. Strickland scores, puts the Bison up by 9 on Montana. Grizz cut it to 8. They get it back up to 10 with Carson, little teardrop in the lane. It's 46-36 in favor of the Bison. Montana, though, puts a little comeback together. 53-48 until that teardrop falls from Courtney Anderson to cut it to a 3-point game. It's a 2-point lead. How about the big man? Trayson Anderson hits the 3. That was the first made 3 of the second half for the Bison with 5 minutes to go in the game to put them up by 5. They were 0 of 9 from 3-point range prior to that make from Anderson. Next possession down, Travion Carson, back-to-back threes. Bison lead it by 8 with 3.5 minutes to go. Montana, though, would creep back into it. They'd hit a 3. Bison make their foul shots. They're up 10 at 79-69. This 3 goes from Tyler Thompson. That cuts it to 7, though, with just 7 seconds to go. Again, NDSU made its free throws. Montana would run out of time, and North Dakota State goes on the road and knocks off the Big Sky preseason favorites in Montana. 81-72 the final. A nice win for David Richmond's team last night to get to 6-3. It's their first road win of the year. You remember the victory they had over Jacksonville State last week. That was a neutral site game in Jonesboro. Look at the line for Damari. 23 points last night in 32 minutes. Strickland was good. Carson was great. That is a really nice win. And after starting the season 0-2, I'm just here to tell you, North Dakota State now has won 6 of its last 7. And today, as you wake up, the latest net rankings, the highest team in the Summit League, North Dakota State. The Bison have that distinction waking up this morning. You got to scroll a little bit, but they're there. And that's what you want to look at if you're talking about it. Bison coming at 142 with the Jackrabbits at 148. Back home Saturday night, the Bison will take on Northern Arizona. A game we'll have for you on WDAY Extra. I would encourage, if you're going to go to the football game, maybe to stick around and watch the basketball team play because they're good. Strickland is worth the price of admission. Travion Carson can jump out of the gym. Damari's playing great. And frankly, they only have one other home game left before Summit League play begins. So if you're going to actually devote some time, and that's a non-Division I game against Crookston a week from Monday, then that's the game to go watch against a Northern Arizona team that is struggling right now. Good win last night. So think of this now. Take the St. Scholastica game and the Jamestown games out. I know you can't, but you need to. They have beaten Cal State Northridge. Good win there. In a game where they shot it horrendously and ended up winning still by 20. They beat Southern Illinois into a pulp. That was a really good win. They beat Jacksonville State, a game they clamped down defensively. Frankly, they should have beaten Arkansas State. They lost in overtime in a game that they had multiple chances to win at the end of regulation. And now they win this one on the road. They're playing defense. That's the thing that David's got to be thrilled about. And they're flying back here, and we'll see them coming up Saturday night at the Shack. At the Shack last night were the Bison women. Now, we didn't get to see them play at all this past weekend. They were in the no-video vortex of their tournament in Jacksonville, Florida, where they destroyed two teams. They beat the Campbells. They beat Bethune-Cookman. They beat Bethune-Cookman almost by 50. This is after they beat Tulane in their final home game before they went out on this stretch. So last night they were facing Montana State, a team that was ranked 7th in the mid-major poll. And the Bison, they turned it over, but boy, they got what they wanted. Nifty pass from Carrington Asp to Abby Kraswinski put the Bison, they got out to a 9-0 lead in this game. Marissa Frost converts on the give and go. Montana State spent an early couple of timeouts. And finally, for the first time, at least at the Shack, the Bison made their threes. Molly Lenz cans a three there. Montana State did come back. That is one of those awkward shots you'll ever see. But it went down for the Cats last night from Taylor Chirick. There's a corner three from Marissa Frost, who was great. She was 6 of 10 from the field, including this, which she's so good at. Little teardrop runner. Bison up by 11 at the half. Second half, they get the offensive board. Kraswinski steps into a three. She hadn't been making shots. She made 3 threes last night. One of 6 Bison that got into double figures. This is pure Marissa Frost. She does that so well to penetrate the defense and score. She was sensational at 15 points. By the way, Coonan was her usual self. Grabs a board and scores. Another double-double for Avery last night. And we got to feature what Carrington Asp did. That down low. She had a double-double as well. Off the bench, Asp went for 18 and 10. The Bison rout Montana State. 90-65, the final last night. NDSU gets its 6th win of the season. They get their 4th consecutive win in the process. Asp and Coonan both go for double-doubles. Just wrap your mind around that. Again, Montana State came in at 5-1. Their only loss was to Troy, and the Bison destroyed them last night. This is their 4th straight double-digit victory. Afterwards, Jory Collins with plenty of flowers for his team.
I don't know that I've been prouder of a team since I've been here. So much respect for Coach Benford and Montana State and what they do. Very, very hard team to prepare for and go against. Won 30 games last year and are going to win a whole bunch of games this year. So I thought our players did a great job of being in an aggressive mindset against their run and jump and how good they are at stealing the basketball. They still forced us into 23 turnovers, had 19 steals from us. But I thought we did a good job making them pay more often than they made us pay. Just getting into the groove of the year, I think, Dom. I think people are settling into their roles. Carrington gets better every practice, every game. Marissa Frost has become a little bit more how she finished last year. AK is making shots now, wasn't earlier. I mean, some of that's things that, we were inconsistent against Gonzaga. We didn't make enough threes against Nebraska, but those weren't things we were concerned like, I know we can shoot the ball this well because I see them shoot it every day. You just got to go out and do it, and we knew that was coming.
I think that we've just been playing with a lot of confidence, and I think the last 2 games and coming off of Tulane also just kind of helped us out with that, and we're just trying not to let up and keep on carrying on.
Avery asked Jory this about how important it was tonight to win at home. You're not going to be here again for basically another 3 weeks to get one here before you go back out on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's super important, and kind of just giving our home crowd a good taste and showing kind of what we're all about, and I thought we did that tonight. And going out on the road now here before Christmas break is going to be important, and it's going to be good momentum for us.
Heck of a win last night. Again, that is 4 consecutive victories now by double digits. And again, as you wake up this morning, you want to look at the women net rankings. The Bison in the top 50. That's the highest they've ever been and is a Division I program. Just that is awfully impressive. Now they go on the road. Saturday, they've got Weber State in the back end of the Summit Big Sky Challenge. We've got Jory Collins coming up later, so we'll save a little bit more on the Bison women for about 10:35 this morning, as we haven't had a chance to visit with Jory in a couple weeks, so we'll get his 2 cents on a really impressive beatdown last night. Okay, last thing before we set up the show. We broke the news as we were on yesterday on Chris Kleiman retiring as head football coach at Kansas State. And we've had the good fortune of talking with Chris several times on this show since he left Fargo to take the job in Manhattan. I think one of my all-time favorite interviews when we were in Las Vegas 18 months ago for Big 12 Media Days, which was fantastic. We interviewed him when we were in Frisco in January to be down there to see his son, Devin. And away from the camera, I got a sense certainly he was tired, knowing full well where the game was at. And McFeely wrote this better than I can say. But if college football is going to lose a guy like Chris Kleiman, then we're in rough shape here. That the way that the structure of the sport is going has driven a guy who has given his life to it, that he needs to step back. Should be the red alerts should be going off to say this is not good. And privately, the conversations that we had, he told me he wasn't even coaching anymore. That's the name of it at that level, where there are players that are coming into his office asking him for this amount of money or they're going to go. I mean, that he barely spends time on the field anymore. Now, I have a sense that he may step away for a little bit and get back maybe in a year or two. He's set money-wise for life, and that's never why he was into it. But the fact that the Kansas State fans were on him after they lost to Utah, and he was emotional after that, saying that fans were saying they needed a change in leadership and all this other garbage. The man went there, replaced a legend. All they did just a couple years after that was win the Big 12 championship, make the Sugar Bowl. And as I remember, we were interviewing him before the game on this program, that he was up there sitting next to Nick Saban. I remember him telling us, I'm a kid from Waterloo, Iowa, and I'm sitting up there, and there's Nick Saban on the other sideline. And I will say, this is personal to me. I will take the journalist broadcaster hat off that I covered Chris for every day for 8 years, from 11 to 13 when he was an assistant. And then from 14 to 18, he was the head football coach. I think there was rarely a day or two that didn't go by that either I had a text message to him or a phone call, one way or the other, that we would have some sort of correspondence. It goes with the territory of covering North Dakota State football. We got to a point in our relationship that I was friendly enough with him. I invited him to Courtney and I's wedding. He came, which I think for a lot of people that were there that day, they were stunned that the head football coach of the Bison would come, and I knew he would. He was in between camp too in June, so I knew how busy he was, and he came for a bit, and it was great. And I couldn't have been more excited for him when he got the Kansas State job and went and won. Went to bowl games. They're going to a bowl game maybe again that's going to be decided there. Gene Taylor said yesterday that they'll weigh their decisions on that. He actually texted me Monday morning saying, hey, I'm coming up. Would love to see you and Kolpak and a bunch of the other guys that he got friendly with. I asked him almost half jokingly, hey, we got time. Would you love to come on Bison Game Day? He's going to do that on Saturday morning, which will be great. And he'll be back in his element. And I have a feeling the 9,000-pound gorilla is off his shoulders now after this decision. But again, it says more about how broken the sport is, that it drove a man out that has given his life to it, that he doesn't want to do it anymore. And that's really sad. We've got a packed show coming up for you here today on this Thursday morning. Our guest lineup is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Our guy Drew Trafton will join us in just a few moments to get us ready for the biggie in Missoula, his Grizz and the Jackrabbits. Everybody looking at South Dakota State to win this football game. We'll preview that coming up here in just a few minutes. At 9:35, super excited to have two of Cheyenne state champion volleyball players in studio with us, Cora Metcalf and Baylor Dinger, who set like every record imaginable at the state tournament a couple weeks ago in Bismarck. They'll be here to chat about that. And, yeah, they're really in volleyball at the highest level coming up pretty soon out of West Fargo, North Dakota. That's pretty cool at 9:35. Our guy Sam Goetzinger will lead off our second hour to get us ready for the game on Saturday and why in the world nobody's coming to the game. And at 10:35, as I mentioned, Jory Collins will join us, NDSU women's basketball head coach, after the big Bison win last night over Montana State. That and a heck of a lot more here on a busy show. We'll take our first break. We come back. Our guy Drew Trafton will join us on the Jacks and the Grizz playoff memories, round 3 in Missoula. Coming up when we come back.
The biggest Seahawks, Sounders, and Mariners fan in the FM area. It's time for Views with Drew.
All righty, you are here to rebuff the Jackrabbit fans that have clouded my timeline, that are dunking on me on the Chase Mason return. Like, what are you talking about, Izzo? Like, here we are, that South Dakota State is now primed to win the whole thing. Yeah. I got to imagine, though, we have not talked since the bracket came out, that you were thrilled whatsoever to see where the Jackrabbits were.
Having yes, I look at things with the Montana perspective. That has to be the hardest draw any team has ever had to a national title. Like, if it
ain't easy.
So let's unpack this. Just put aside that they're the 3 seed. Okay, the 3 seed. Yep. A path to a Montana title, very likely, with respect to the other institutions playing in the tournament, would look like South Dakota State
in the first game. Yep.
South Dakota,
potentially
Montana State, North Dakota State.
Well, you'll have earned it.
They should, if they somehow pull that off, they should give them like just a perennial championship or something. Like, that is unreal as the 3 seed.
Yeah.
To have to go through that slobber knocker, they've already played 2 Valley schools this year. Like, that, they basically play like an entire Conference Valley schedule on top of, like, it's nuts. But
the only thing they have going for them is the game is at home.
Yeah,
they have the game in Missoula,
and as you said, 3rd year in a row that these two sides will be matching up. They know each other at least too. Like, they've got that going, and the Grizzlies have a lot. I think as much as we've talked this year heading into the season about how many new faces the Jackrabbits have on their side of things, Montana lost its entire starting defense. Between this season and last season, and and a lot of their key players on offense are new. So it's as much as there's that familiarity there, this is really like 2 different squads facing off.
We're looking back here. This is the last time they played in the playoffs. Now, they've played in Missoula. They played 2 other times in the postseason in Missoula. The 2009 game was the epic 61-48 Montana win.
I was there. That was a Thanksgiving weekend game.
48-27. It was something crazy
like that, right? Yeah, it was like death knell for the Grizz. I mean, they were like done and dusted in the 3rd quarter.
They came back and they scored 30 points in the 4th quarter.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. It was the coolest thing I think I've ever seen in person in terms of just like a comeback.
And that game was 2015 when Montana got, I think it was like 17-0 at halftime. The Jacks
came back. They stormed back. Yeah,
and then Montana won to give them a trip to come to Fargo.
Yeah.
We don't
remember and we know what happened there.
But this is a really interesting rivalry in the fact that how often they've played, and now once you play in a championship game, and then you play again the following, and then you play again. There's just there's some, I don't know if bad blood's the right word. There's some history is the best way to describe it.
There's definitely some history. And I mean, they've played 10 times in program history, and the Grizzlies have won 8 of those, or 7 of those. And, heading into that national title game, that was the first time the Jacks had beat the Grizz. And that was, like that. I was at that title game, in person too, as a fan, and I think there's a lot of respect there. I mean, everyone kind of knew that you were playing for 2nd place that year. I think
with that Jacks team of 23,
they were so good. Yep. But even then, at halftime, the Grizz were within a score, in that game. And Jacks fans were a little nervous at halftime. The fans around us were talking.
Montana had chances in that game.
Yeah,
too.
They did.
That 4th down stop at the goal line was just killer.
Yeah,
and Clifton fumbling as well when they're going
Yeah.
in was another killer one.
Yep.
in that
I mean,
game.
they had a chance
Yeah.
to score in the first half, and then they were driving in the third quarter. And
But this is not that Jack's team.
No, it's not that
just-
Jack's team. It's not that Grizz team though
No.
either. You know, like the one thing I really took away from that Brawl of the Wild game was that Montana hadn't been tested on defense really all season,
Yes.
and that came to bear. And it's like, ooh, they didn't pass that test. You know, so I don't know. Looking at that, you know, just that gauntlet of playoff games, like, is this the end of the road? Possibly. You know, like I think the Jacks are load to bear.
Vegas has this basically as a pick 'em, which is crazy because I would say Washington Grizzlies is good for at least 7.
A touchdown. Yeah.
I think it is.
That
the way rocking there Saturday.
The way the Jackrabbits played last weekend, and I know it was against New Hampshire, they looked so good. Like it was like Chase Mason coming back, like
That's
that
a deal, man. There's no doubt.
Holy cow, that changed. Like, and that's not, you know, like I'll also say Jack Henry, their quarterback, who their third stringer who stepped up,
who saved their season, no doubt.
And he was playing so well. Like, I mean, they're going to be fine when that guy's taking starting snaps. Like he's a good player. And so like, even if it was him heading into Washington Grizzly, I'd be going,
I will say
don't
this.
know.
If they're able to do this, the Jacks will have won in Bozeman and Missoula in the same year.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Talk about a feather in Dan Jackson's cap.
Then you put a full stop. Like, all right, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah,
if you're able to do that.
you know, they've got a good chance of going into Vermilion then the next weekend.
Yes.
You know, and that's not a knock on Mercer. Like that. No, it's just the reality of the FCS.
We talked about this, and I'll real quick before we got to roll here, because I would tell you, McFeely wrote about it, and you guys can rate it in for him, that if there's the possibility that all 4 Dakota teams are in the quarters, that's not good for the subdivision.
No, it's not. And I mean, I think we're seeing the backlash of that play out when we're talking about awards and things like that. I mean, it's like there's very clearly like the blue bloods are being like, you know, well, we don't have to reward, you know, give these guys their
Lehigh
laurels.
coach won the Eddie Robinson Award as the coach of the year. Like, again, I've spent way too much time and breath and minutes on this week, but what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, if it's just going to be the award where it's like, okay, go down the list until you're not at a Dakota or a Montana or, you know, like, and give that guy the award.
Man.
Like you said, it's not good for the subdivision at all.
All right. I wanted to spend at least a couple minutes, and I don't know if we can do this in that minute, because tomorrow, the World Cup draw is tomorrow morning, which for people that don't know, that's soccer. The World Cup is here this summer. Why is this relevant? Why do we need to pay attention? Because we're going to find out, at least for United States fans, myself, the bandwagoner that I am, who we're playing in the first preliminary round, correct?
Yeah, so, you know, this tournament is the World Cup finals, because the World Cup is like this massive thing. It's a years-long process.
Which we didn't have to qualify for because we're hosting it, which is good for us, because I don't know if we would have made it.
And this year it's an expanded tournament for the first year. 48 teams get in. 48 countries get in. And so you have to win your group, basically, to be guaranteed a spot.
Okay.
And before that, in the tournament, it was you the first 2
or
teams.
Second,
in your group
which
out of
we
4.
finished second 4 years ago in Qatar.
Yeah, and so you have to win your group, basically, or be the, like, in goal differential and tiebreaker, be like one of the best of 4 groups.
So basically, they have, is it ping pong balls they're picking out of tomorrow?
That's exactly it.
This is what they're going to do, television event tomorrow.
Yeah, you have a ranking, and so like you're ranked and you're in the pot with like ranked teams. So,
which is, we're in with all the heavyweights, it looks like, with Mexico, Spain, Argentina won it, France, England, Brazil. So we can't play any of them in the first round.
Which is a huge benefit of being a host nation. Yeah. But then you get, so you're going to get one of each of the next like ranked
pots
group. So like of the 12 groups.
I'm looking at the second one, man. The Croatia, they're good. Yeah. Morocco, good. Any South American countries good.
13 to 24, you'll get those countries in one pot, and then you keep just going down the list.
Norway made it. We can beat them, right?
We can beat,
Okay.
The U.S. has been playing really well.
Wallen's going to get mad at me. I think we're going to beat Norway.
They've won 6 their last 6 friendly matches.
We're playing better, right?
Against World Cup qualified teams.
Trending in the right direction.
All right. These are not teams that won't be in the tournament. We've been playing against teams in the tournament.
Okay, you got me feeling better
we beat
about
them,
this.
all of them, including Japan, which was in that group too, and a bunch of
any of those teams will be with us.
One of them will be.
Right.
Guaranteed to be in our group, but only one of them, which is good. And then you keep going down.
Okay.
So what we're seeing there is there's a good chance the U.S. advances to the knockout.
You know what? The Fox executives would. If we don't, oh my gosh, we're hosting it and everything's in prime time this summer.
Yeah,
oh boy,
yeah, it's gonna be. But I think they're they're playing well. They're playing well. So we should have every expectation that they do advance.
What before we go? What's your game? What's your plan for Saturday? Like, I can't watch it with anybody else. Put me in the basement. Shut the windows.
Well, that's been our any playoff game, any Brawl of the Wild game. We did go out a couple years for the Brawl of the Wild to like the watch parties in town, but we just we need to be by ourselves. Like that's just the only way to like you just have to let those emotions come and deal with them in time and then.
Well, I hope for your sake you have a positive result. We'll see, man. I think, honestly, there might be more people in Fargo watching that than actually going to the Bison game on Saturday because I don't know what else.
At least we have, I try to look at the silver lining. It's like at least we have a good second-round matchup to watch.
There's no doubt.
There you go.
This game here is not bad.
No, it's Illinois State's a fantastic game and a tough game.
Yes.
If you're looking for the game to go to this playoffs for the Bison, that one might be it.
All right, my man. Have a great week. Enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you next week, all right?
Thanks.
Drew Trafton giving us a special Thursday appearance here on this week. We appreciate that. All right, we'll break. We come back. You're going to meet two of Cheyenne's recent state volleyball champions. Baylor Dinger and Cora Metcalf will join us in studio. That's coming up when Hot Mike returns after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Busy Thursday show. Jory Collins, Bison women's basketball coach, will join us in about an hour. I'm already behind. That's going to get our producers mad at me, but we'll move on. I'm pretty pumped to have our next guest here in studio. We saluted it a couple weeks ago on our Best of the Weekend. We wrapped up the fall sports season. We had the state volleyball championship out in Bismarck. West Fargo Sheyenne won the championship in 5 sets. They beat Fargo Davies. Pretty pumped. We've got two of the stars here, Cora Metcalf to my left, Baylor Dinger to my right. Guys, congratulations. I know it's a bit belated, but thanks for coming in. First off, I think you guys got done at like 11 o'clock at night. You talk about playing late night in Bismarck a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know what time it was. It was like the adrenaline was so high. I got on the bus at 12:30, and I was like, wow, it's midnight.
Baylor, tell me about, we were just chatting, that third set. You guys are up, right? Was it 2 sets to none? You guys were up. So, we're 1 set away, and then you take it from there, how crazy the third set went.
We were, up by a lot, and it was, going good, and then we kind of just started playing, slower, and we got too comfortable, and then it was we want this, and then it just kept going. It was, a never-ending set. It was really fun, though.
Yeah. Well, but it obviously didn't go your way. So what was the huddle like after that? All right, what's Coach Newton telling you? Hey, we got to keep playing.
She was like, it's a great fight, way to come back, but we need to start stronger and just be able to finish because we were 0-4 on 5th sets going into the season. So
that's wild.
Obviously, we struggled a little bit on 5th sets, but just being able to finish that one felt way better.
Was it deflating, Cora, when you're going after, we got to go back and play a 4th set when we're this close to winning it?
I wouldn't say it was like that. We just knew we had to win. We already were up 2. We were just we have to win 1 more, and that's it. It's not we were down sets. So it was just we just had to push really hard 1 more set, and yeah.
So they win the 4th though. So so was it nervous going to a 5th? Okay, this is it for 15 points for the state championship here.
Yeah, we knew in the 5th set we have to get a strong start, and we say 1st to 5, 1st to 10, 1st to 15, and we did that, but it was hard knowing we haven't won a 5th set yet this year.
So I'm back here in Fargo watching it on TV, and our crew did an awesome job. It looked like it was packed, or at least it was loud. Was that the sense of being out? Could you sense that at all, or were you too much focused on what was going on?
You could tell a little. Our parents are really loud, but also the EDC championship was at Shanley, which is kind of small, and it was packed. So after being in Shanley's environment, it felt like nothing being in there because it was so loud in Shanley. And West Fargo has a huge student section, so it's everyone's screaming because that was a long game too. We went to extra points in the 5th set.
We're seeing the last championship point here. What do you guys remember about this, if anything?
Being crushed. My legs were bent different directions.
To have this, especially against Davies, does that make it a little bit sweeter knowing how much of a rival those guys are with you?
Yeah, and we didn't beat them this year except for in a tournament.
Yeah, we lost to them twice.
We had the fight, and we were the underdog, so we knew what we had to do.
Describe now. It's been a little bit winning it. How sweet was that?
It felt so good. It was cool because, like, 2 years ago, I think it was, our team with, like, all seniors, they won at, like, 1 a.m.
Yes.
And it was in 5 sets, too. So it was like that a little earlier, though. Thank gosh.
Well, when you're not necessarily you're waiting around, when you saw like the Class B went 5 and then the match before it went 4, like, all right, how do you wait? What are you doing all day? I guess is maybe the best way to answer
Stretching just over and over.
We had a gingerbread house competition the day of the
Is
state
that right?
championship. Yes.
Yeah.
Who won?
Taylor Johnson
Really?
and Olivia Bratton won.
Yeah.
They sweet talked the judges.
Yeah.
Who were the judges?
The hotel lobby workers.
Our house just fell. It collapsed.
That's good to know because I have to help my son with one here in a couple weeks, and I it's not going to go well. I can tell you that right now. Well, that's good. That's one way to pass the time. So, were you guys loose going in, knowing that hey, it's a championship match? But what was the mindset going into the title game?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely loose because like we've been there before, and like we were all just really excited. Honestly.
Yeah, I think everyone was like. I think we were more nervous for the Century game than we were for the Davies game because we've played Davies twice this season. We've watched them a lot. So, like, playing Century to get our get back, too, because we played them last year in the state championship and lost. So, just, like, I feel like we were more nervous for that. And it's, like, hard to beat a team 3 times. So, I guess everyone had a little bit of confidence going into that game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, when was the, like, lose it moment? Like, did you have tears, anything? Was it somebody came up to you? When did it, like, really hit that you guys had won?
I would say, like, when my dad hugged me after the game, that's when I cried. I didn't really cry much right after, but like seeing my parents and everything.
I even saw Coach Richmond going crazy on that. Like, I gotta give him a hard time. I haven't seen him yet because obviously his daughter plays. That he's become a volleyball dad. They're right there, over there on the right side of the screen.
Aww.
Yeah, so I gotta give him a hard time on that, which was obviously was really cool. He was able to get there since the Bison weren't playing. But how about for you? Did you have a moment where like it finally sunk in that you won this thing?
Yeah, well, we talked about it before, like, if we were going to, like, if we won, like, are we going to go to the ground or are we going to stand up? And I thought we decided we were standing up. So, like, I was, like, in the net during it. I wasn't on the ground. And me and Olivia were hugging because we were kind of stuck in the net. And I think that's, like, when it really hit me. And then also when I saw Addie after the game, like, we've been really close the whole year. So just, like, giving Addie a hug after we won just felt so good.
So you're a senior. So what did that mean, knowing this is it? That was your last high school match.
Yeah, it meant a lot. Like, this has been the end goal and, like, how I wanted to end it. So, like, it was just really emotional knowing that I'm going on, like, the highest note you can.
How important was for you to send the seniors out with the championship?
It was really important. We talked about it all season, like, doing it for the seniors. Last year we got close, but we didn't do it. So just being able to send our great group of seniors out with the championship felt great.
How much in your own house did you have to live up? Because Hudson won baseball last spring. You guys, was the trash talk there? Or was
it? He always tries to brag that he has the most state championships in the family.
Well, now you still got a couple years here, so you got one now.
He has one because we don't count the Legion ones.
Just the high school ones are the ones that matter?
Because we don't have
That's
for club, there's no
yeah.
state championship.
So I know you played basketball as well. Tell me when either volleyball won out or said, okay, volleyball is the way to go.
Yeah, I would say probably sophomore year. I just kind of knew when I was going into basketball, I was crying so much before tryouts. I love basketball, but volleyball, it's my passion, and I know I want to go to college for that. So I was I'm going to try sophomore year of basketball again, and because I loved freshman year, I played with my sister, so I liked that for basketball.
Yeah.
But going in there without Maya, my sister, I was it's just not the same, and I just have a different drive for volleyball, and I don't get tired of it. I could do volleyball every day, and I just don't I don't care about what else.
Well, it's funny because I remember talking with your old coach because Kenyon was come on all the time, and when I was talking about Maya, I said, well, hey, wait, her younger sister might be better coming through, which I'll say that was his words, not mine. But was it just something hey, I like basketball, but I love volleyball more?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I loved basketball, but volleyball, the community, the people, I loved the coaches, and the sport's fun every day.
What's ahead then? Can you tell us what's going on for next year yet?
I will be playing at Omaha.
Wow.
Yeah.
Summit League.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. What was Division I recruitment like?
I mean, it was stressful. There was a lot going on, a lot of phone calls, but once I visited at Omaha, I knew that was the place for me. I love the coaches and the girls, and I like their motto and everything that they strive for.
staying close, relatively close, was that a big deal or no? Wherever
I
I go,
wanted to go like far enough where I can like
you
have
could drive
my
back.
own life. Yeah, but like I don't want to go too far, and I didn't want to be at like 20 minutes away. So
Yeah.
I think 5 hours, 6 hours is perfect.
It's a good buffer.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Now you're only a sophomore, correct?
Yeah.
So things are going crazy for you on
Yeah.
that. Tell us about that right now. What is your phone blowing up, or is it not yet? It hasn't happened yet.
I can't talk to college coaches till June 15th, so
Okay.
it's just like trying to go to camps, like doing as much as I can to like put my name out there. So on June 15th, like I can talk to coaches right away. And like I've been working with my recruiting coordinator to like prepare for like those calls and like texts you'll get and like interactions with coaches. But right now there's been none except with like I think you can talk to D2 schools right now or maybe D3. So like I've had a little communication with some of them, but right now there's not any phone calls.
How much did Cora help or can help for what she went through, what's going to come down the pipe here for you?
Yeah, we had a conversation about like recruiting and just like good things to say to coaches, like how to stand out. And I don't know when it was, but we were talking about it for like an hour, and then we just like zoned out. And then someone's like, "Are you guys ready to go?" And then I think it was during a JV game, or something. We were just talking about it.
Was Division I volleyball, when did that become realization? Like, hey, somebody thinks you're good enough that you can play at that level.
Yeah, I mean, when I was like emailing out to coaches, I emailed D1. I didn't really think it was like you never know, so I just emailed out. And when they were responding, I was like, wow, like this is possible, and it like made me realize that I have like a lot going for me in my future.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I would not want to be anywhere near the net with that coming down. To have this now be realization for both of you, obviously, just is that. How big a deal is that, knowing that Division I volleyball is ahead for you as well?
It feels good. Like, just keep working, and like I don't know where I'll end up, but just like continuing to practice and try to get better before I talk to coaches. Because for the higher D1s, usually it's like you commit right on June 15th.
I was going to say
into your junior
they're not
year.
waiting around, right?
Yeah, like you don't wait. Like Hudson committed last summer going into a senior year. Like people commit June 15th of their going into their junior year.
I don't think people know that. I don't think I did on volleyball. I knew like basketball, football is the way it is. Baseball, you talked about it. Volleyball is super early on that, right?
Once the day hits, they call you, and you basically have to decide in the next couple days for big schools.
So did they did certain schools say, hey, we want a decision by tomorrow?
I had deadlines. I didn't have a day, but it was like 2 weeks.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's like
so
stressful.
that added this. I imagine, right? Yeah. What was that like going through that?
I mean, I was like, I don't know like what the right choice is, and after I committed, there's colleges still reaching out, like not knowing I committed yet because I didn't like post it, and I was like, did I make the right choice? But actually, I did talk to Newton, and I was like, did I? And she's like, you're confident in your decision, and she like had me list up all the pros, and I was like, you're right, I do love this school, and like. She just kind of calmed me down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure to be dealing with now. So, all right. So you won it. What's the last couple weeks been like? Has it been like relief, excitement, a little bit of both? What's the emotions been like after winning state?
It's been like a little bit of both. Like it's a little bit of relief. We've talked about all season. Like we want to play our best at the end of season. Like we call it like playing Cheyenne volleyball is like what we did in the state championship. So it just felt really good to like be able to play our best in the very last game of the season, our last game with our seniors.
This might be an inside joke, but I have to ask. Email says, I would love to know why the Dinger girl picks up all the trash after each game.
My parents have always talked about, like my dad, someone from NDSU, Northern State in Aberdeen, always talked about it, Dom Meyer, picking up trash, just like leaving it better than you found it. So Hudson's been doing it for a while with like picking up trash like in the dugout after games. So just like I thought I'd just keep that going to make sure our team like leaves a good like mark. Like
That's
our
awesome.
team's not trashing the place.
That's fantastic. I could use that in my own house to pick up after myself. All right, now we only have a couple minutes left before we got to go. I haven't asked yet about playing outdoors. What was that experience like at the Lights earlier this year?
That was an amazing experience, something I'll never forget. And it was even better for like a good cause for Landon's Light, and it just made it really special.
No, you guys played last.
So
what was it like seeing the teams go out playing at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Did you want that, or did you prefer playing later?
It was so sunny. They all needed sunglasses. I was like, that looks awful. But we had like a sunset, and it was fun.
The introduction was going down the stairwell. Can you talk about that? How neat that was?
I thought I was gonna trip because someone from North, I think, slipped like on the corner because the court was really slippery. I didn't notice it in the game, but like during runouts, the court was really slippery and like warm-ups. It felt like you were on like an ice skating rink. And so I was really scared I was going to like trip going down the stairs or like on the court.
Yeah.
And then like everyone's watching you, you forget how to run, and then you're like running like a robot.
Did you feel like it felt like the fans were right on top of you? Was that accurate for that game? Were they right there?
They were really close,
Yeah.
especially the student section.
Yeah.
I could, when you were serving, you could touch them when you like back
Yeah.
up.
It was kind of fun. Like, it was a fun environment to have them like that close to the court. It was just like everyone was like yelling when we were on that side. The other side was kind of better, but the lights were really bright at night.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, was it worse dealing with like reflections at night as opposed to dealing with? I know you guys didn't play during the day. Was that?
The sun was
deal?
definitely worse because they had to wear sunglasses. I feel like the sunglasses would have fallen off, but everyone was wearing sunglasses, and ours was like, the lights weren't terrible. I just noticed a little when they were like hitting cross shots, like it would just go right into the light, but it didn't affect us that much, I wouldn't say.
It didn't really affect me at all because I'm just like hitting, but I did notice it like one time I got lost in the light on the way to me. I was like, oh gosh.
I think they're gonna do it again. You excited about it happening again next season?
Yes. I think they talked about even doing it with like, instead of playing a team you would play like in regular season, like doing it with like Kindred and like schools like that, which would be fun because I have a teammate for club who plays for Kindred too. She's really fun to play with, so it'd be fun to play their team.
What was your takeaway out of that? Saying, this was unexpected that we got to do, especially during for your senior year.
It was really cool and like fun to do my like last year and got to wear our pink jerseys, so that was really fun.
Guys, this was so awesome. I appreciate you brought by coffee as well. I really appreciate that. Congratulations. Good luck to you next year in Omaha. We'll look forward to seeing that. Of course, good luck the next couple of years. We'll be following what's going on with you at Cheyenne, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Cora Metcalf and Baylor Dinger joining us here in studio. 2 members of the Cheyenne State Champion volleyball team this fall. All right, we'll break. We come back. We'll wrap up our first hour. Big second hour plan on our show. We're back after this. All right, that was good stuff there with Cora and Baylor. Fantastic. Wrapping up our first hour. Big second hour plan. Jory Collins coming up at 10:35. Our guy Sam Goetzinger on deck. Hour 2 of Hot Mic begins right after this.
This is Hot Mic.
Hot Mic.
On the networks of WDAY.
WDAY.
Here's Dom Izzo.
Let's take a moment and talk about bunions. The original line read as this: bunions. You may have heard of them. That was my original line.
Hey, thank you, Dom. Johnny Cool Guys there with the sunglasses on.
That was off the dome.
To the west of
when
Illinois.
I'm looking on it, like west. I shouldn't say right and left. Is that Missouri?
That is Missouri.
Yes.
That
it's
is
underneath
Missouri.
Iowa.
Oh,
I'm getting good at this.
he's coming.
So we're going to like the bottom peninsula region.
Peninsula.
Okay, we're going to come back on the ETSU tailgate and then go to you. How am I going to go from a tailgate to bunions?
Okay, good deal.
Let's take a moment and talk about bunions.
Here he is. What's up, Sam? How are you, man?
Good morning. Good morning. It's been a while.
We haven't done this segment in a little bit.
Yeah.
You were gone a couple weeks ago to Bismarck. You were out covering volleyball.
Yep.
How'd that go?
It was great. A lot of volleyball that week. That was for sure. A lot of volleyball, but it was fun.
And then last week was Thanksgiving. You had a chance to get home.
Week before was the Dakota Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, I got home last week for quite a few days, actually. So that was a good little reset.
Yeah.
See the fam down in southern Minnesota. Eat my little heart out, and then came back up here, so we're good to go.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
It's December. You were out at, we just had 2 athletes from Cheyenne here, and Cora and Baylor. You were at Cheyenne yesterday with Kai Schlichting making it official on signing day.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's some really, these 2 were impressive.
Yes.
Kai's an impressive kid as well. That signing class for the Bison that you featured yesterday, really impressive group of kids. It was fun to be at Kai's deal yesterday.
Have you covered a signing ceremony before?
No,
that was your first.
And then going to Cheyenne, the little closet area, but it's a nice little broadcast studio situation there. And Kai brought about 15 of his friends.
Oh, nice.
Some of his family members were there. We packed into this room, and it was a cool deal with Kai. As you mentioned yesterday, he's the first one signing in the class, or first one who announced his commitment for 2026. And one of his childhood friends actually held onto a picture that he drew in like 6th grade of a Bison logo.
No kidding.
And held onto it for that day that we had yesterday. So that was pretty cool, and it was fun to see him just finally get it done. He actually signed a real piece of paper. It wasn't just a blank sheet of paper. But
we've had some do that.
Yep.
We've definitely covered it up where the guy, like, I'm just going to scribble something here because I've already sent in the official letter or email. They don't do fax anymore, but now they can just basically take a picture, text it, and they're good to go.
All done. The signing day has changed a lot from 15 years ago
now,
or whatever it was.
You covered them. You called a couple Cheyenne games for Bison fans. What should they expect when they get him to the next level?
Well, he was a running back in high school, and every time he always looked like the tallest kid out there. He's about 6'3". He was pretty special player. He just bounces off of tackles. He's a hard guy to bring down. There was points at the beginning of the year. Sheyenne had pretty much a brand new team from last year's Dakota Bowl squad. So it took a little bit for that Sheyenne group to kind of get their motor going. But as you watch Kai progress throughout the season, especially towards the back half of it, oh man, he was impressive. He was really good. And it sounds like he's going to come up and be a wide receiver, but he's willing to play anywhere. He even admitted it's college football. I never know. You never know what's going to happen. I don't know exactly what position I'm going to play. He told me that he's his big role model, even though they're pretty close in age, is Peter Haugo. Following that path, and he said that he ran into Peter at Target the other day and saw how big he got, and he's excited. He's excited to go down that path with Kramer to see how big he can get as well. Kai, you're getting a good one in Kai. Kai's a great person, and he's a good football player.
That's a good model to follow because Haugo was a great two-way player at Fargo North, and I think the Bison, if you were to ask some of their coaches, they are very excited about what the potential is for the former Fargo North guy, that linebacker, who we may see play more in the postseason.
I think so.
Closer to that. Good stuff there. Why is nobody going to the game Saturday?
I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get it. This is probably the best team that's come inside the Dome since Youngstown State. Is that?
Yep.
Is that?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Because what have we had? UNI, St. Thomas.
Correct.
There wasn't another one in between there. But what's going on? What's the excuse this weekend? The fish aren't going anywhere. I don't even know what the ice reports are like right now.
We've definitely made ice. I don't know if we're.
I don't know if
I wouldn't be set enough to go out there.
I don't know. Maybe you can walk on it. I walked outside today, and it's too cold to be spending any time outside. You hear Coach Polisek mention it on Tuesday. If you have an opportunity to go to a game and potentially make an impact on the game because the quarterback has never played in an environment like that should be price of admission right there. Why not go? Yeah. Why not go and make some noise and try to help them out? And like Tim said on Tuesday as well, this team has their full attention. This is a pretty good Illinois State team.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on how round one went when we were in Normal, outside of the fact that we waited around and you watched a beach volleyball tournament for 3 hours that afternoon.
That was something. We went to the game. We were watching beach volleyball. What the Brewers
in Normal,
were
Illinois.
on.
Yeah, that's right. And it was 85 degrees on the first Saturday in October. But what are your initial takeaways from the first game?
It was not so much of a surprise because I think we all kind of had the feeling that Illinois State coming into the year that they were going to be the team that was in that top four, top three potential in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, and they kind of have fallen a little bit, at least offensively, towards the end of the season. But during that first game in Normal, they came out. They looked really good. I safe to say they gave the Bison a scare for a half. The offense was moving the football. Second half, the Redbirds offense just went stagnant.
And the Bison defense played very well.
They just contained them so good. They found the answers to Sopkowitz and Rittenhouse and Wenkers Wright, who was taking more carries at the time. They're a good team. They're different a little bit from now than they were before.
And I say this too, Illinois State had a bye week prior to that, so they had 2 weeks to prep for the Bison, and now they're in the midst. This is their 9th or 10th straight week of playing.
Yeah.
That is a long time, and a second straight road game too.
Right.
To me, I'm more interested to see how their defense can hold. Because remember, the Bison did not punt in this football game the first time around.
That is true.
NDSU did whatever they wanted offensively the first time out.
Right. There's no doubt. And it's not like Illinois State has a bad defense by any means. I'm not going to open up the can of worms, but they have the Defensive Player of the Year in the Missouri Valley Football Conference at Ty Niekamp. But yeah, that's a lot of football to be played. You got to wonder where the energy level is at. I'm sure it's going to be high going into the Dome, a Missouri Valley Football Conference foe. And
it should be. I mean, I don't know. Again, what you're laying out all makes sense. Just nobody seems to care.
Right.
So I don't know what to say about
the playoffs. It's win or go home.
Yep.
There's an opportunity that the season could be done on Saturday.
So,
Why wouldn't you want to come and watch?
I've been down this road before, Sam. I'm an old man now shouting at the clouds on this whole topic. So
it's
last year we saw it. Abilene Christian was a new opponent. I think, there might be some more fans here. Okay, it was all right. Then next week, Mercer, there were less people here for the quarterfinal round game. And that may, if the Bison are fortunate enough to win this one, that may very well happen again next week.
100%. I got to imagine it's a money thing, right? Because that trip to Nashville is not going to be cheap.
It's a combination of factors.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know, like you mentioned it, I don't know what else they want to see.
Right.
I mean,
what more can they do
when
to
the
bring
people
people
are
into the
close?
door?
They're upset because the Bison didn't win by enough. When they blow them out, well, who are they playing?
Right.
What? Come on!
Exactly. Where's the middle ground that we're looking for here? Where's the middle? Do we want a 15-point game? Well, that's still too close for comfort.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Because that game in normal last time out, what was that, a 16-point game? And that was too close for a lot of people. But that's a 2-score win.
Correct.
I don't know. That's the spoils. It's the spoils of it all,
You know what? For the people that are going to celebrate them, that's probably the best way I could say it. You guys, know that they're going to the game, enjoy it, and be as loud as you can. Because that we mentioned it. Tommy Rittenhouse has not played a game here.
Right.
The 2 times they've played, both games have been in normal, both in 24 and obviously the regular season game in 2025.
And it's not like it's a no-name opponent coming in. They got some good players. They got some really fun players to watch. Sopkowitz is really good on the outside. Tommy's a pretty good quarterback. He was an honorable mention all-conference player. Yep. They got the Ty Niekamp, who's the defensive player. Maylander, the newcomer. They got talent out there. And we'll see how they match up, though.
What are you working on here for Bison Game Day? What do you got planned
we got a
this week?
story on Jalen Duffy for Inside the Herd. Looking forward to that one. He's another kid who's very well-spoken. He's
Illinois kid, too.
Illinois kid going up against Illinois State this weekend. He's battled through injuries throughout his career. He had one most recently the last time they played Youngstown State. Now he's got to wear the guardian cap. Last year he had the club on his hand. So he's battled through injuries, but he's an all-conference guy this year as well. And he's a player that can really make an impact at the cornerback position. And throughout the story, we'll hear his relationship with North Dakota State and the players and the brotherhood that he's helped create during his couple years here in Fargo. He's in that gray area. He's kind of far from home. It's not extremely far, but it's kind of far from home, and talked about what it's like being away from Illinois and just creating the environment up here, and looking forward to that story on Saturday.
Email comes in. Sam, can you tell Dom to start covering more of the Minnesota Wild? They're the best team in the NHL. We hear nothing about on Hot Mic here. Well, I'll take the L on that.
Well, that's on me, too, because when I host on Friday, I forgot they were playing as well. So that's on me. I think the Wild are a team that everybody just forgets about for a little bit.
I think are they not a wagon? Are the Wild a wagon?
Can I say a wagon?
That? Okay.
Kirill Kaprizov's playing really good hockey right now. They're impressive. It's fun to watch.
So their goalie Volstead is amazing. He doesn't give up a goal.
Where did this guy come from?
I saw the end of the game, whatever it was, Tuesday night when they beat McDavid and the Oilers, and they shut him out. I'm like, okay, and then I found out he hasn't allowed a goal in 3 games.
He's top of the NHL in pretty much every statistical category of goaltending.
So there you go. I'll make sure we get more Wild on here.
Let's throw the highlights at the beginning of the show more often. Let's get the updates on them. I think it could be fun to watch. Now, granted, it is a Minnesota sports team, so just wait for the collapse to happen.
Another one comes in. Sam, are you excited about the World Juniors starting in Minneapolis here in a couple weeks?
I am. I'm excited for the high school season now in full swing.
Yeah, you called a game the other night.
I did, Cheyenne and Davies at the Shields Arena, a building that those two teams are hoping to get to in February. Excited that season started. College hockey's in full swing. The NHL's in the first third of the year, so it's a good time. World Juniors is going to be a lot of fun. That's
at the Grand Casino Arena.
Yeah, don't call it the X anymore.
It's still the X to me.
I know, right? Yeah,
that's where they're playing it at.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yep,
and University of Minnesota, I'm assuming, is hosting as well.
I would think so. I would imagine. I haven't dug into it too much, but I know it's always a good tournament with a lot of really good talent.
All right, let's break. We come back. We'll have Sam rip the Band-Aid off on his Colts tanking. And apparently there is a new bowl coming to Frisco, Texas with a team that you all know. We'll give you the details on that when Hot Mic returns after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. About 15 minutes away, Jory Collins will join us. Bison women, you were at the game with me last night.
Yeah,
we were working.
Quote.
I was.
Quote.
I have more questions for Bedell. Bedell was there on his night off. The guy doesn't have to work and yet still went to the game.
He was telling me it's a great game. We got to go to this one. I just have to be there for this one. So they went. Props to them supporting the.
Did his wife go too?
Yeah.
Oh wow! All right. Well, date night, I guess.
Yeah. Right. What better place to be on a Thursday night?
I can think of a few more places I would go.
Come on. Good game though. They looked impressive.
Yeah. They were beyond that. They dominated against Montana State.
Yep.
That was a game that was 9-0 to start. I mean, Montana State never really. They got within 5 at one point.
Right. There was that one stretch there in the first quarter where they kind of came and then they just blew.
But after that, the Bison put the hammer down. After that,
Montana State gave them some fits when they went into the press, but once they got the offense set or they were in transition, it was automatic. It was the threes were falling. The defense was creating some turnovers. It's going to be a pretty good team. Pretty fun team
right
to watch.
Now, as you wake up this morning, they are 49 in the net rankings. That is by far the highest they've ever been ranked there.
Top 50. That's not bad
in the country.
Yeah. That's
the
not bad.
And just for comparison, South Dakota State is at 46. So it's not like the Jacks are light years ahead here.
Right. I'm going to be really excited for those matchups when that one comes around. Is this going to be the year? We'll see.
It has been 10 years since the Bison beat the Jacks.
Is this going to be the year?
10.
Yeah, that's a long time.
What were you doing 10 years ago, Sam?
Oh, I was like a junior in high school.
They make me feel old. There you go. And what? High school?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Right?
What year did you graduate?
18.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I would have been a junior in high school.
So old.
You're an old man. Oh. What can I say?
I covered the game. I was there when they won. It was a big deal.
I was failing chemistry. That's what I was doing.
Oh, man. Speaking of failing, what happened to your Colts? It's all going south now. You got Sauce Gardner. He's hurt.
He's hurt. He's gone.
We gave you damaged goods.
Well, that's what we get for giving the Vikings damaged goods for all this time.
80 Mitchell. Love him.
Yeah.
Caught a touchdown.
Love it. I guess all you have to do is believe. All you have to do is believe in a guy for once, and then he'll do something.
All right. So here you are. You're 8-4 in the stand. You're 6 in the AFC. Right?
We were number one. Let's get that.
It's over.
We were number one, and now we're not even number one in our own division.
Because Jacksonville has passed the Colts. This is what you have left.
You got a big game this week?
At the Jags for first place in the AFC South.
That's going to be tough.
Then at the Seahawks. That's not going to go well.
It's going to be tough.
That's not going to be good. Home for the 49ers on
Monday night. Yep.
That got flexed to Monday Night Football.
Excited for that. We better win that game.
Then home for Jacksonville. So you got 2 out of 4 with
we play a lot
for the division.
A lot of AFC South
and
opponents.
Then at the Texans, who you just lost to. This is it.
Yeah.
What's going on with your quarterback?
He's got a broken leg. Apparently, that's not a big deal. A fractured fibula. I had to Google where the fibula was because I didn't take anatomy in my junior year of high school. But yeah,
I've heard that before.
Well, I was looking at the reports and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's going to play through it." He's
it does
fine.
seem odd. You could play through as a quarterback play through a broken leg.
I did hear his old roommates at Duke made a mold they could put on his leg to kind of help with the injury or whatever. So he's been wearing that. Big whoop. It's not helping his play by any means. He's been down the dumps lately. And my excuse, because you know I'm an excuse guy, I think at this point in the season, we're all so used to tanking over the last couple of years that we've just fallen back into that mindset just naturally. We got to snap out of it. We're trying to make a Super Bowl push here.
Well, let's just say playoffs. Let's not get
I want to say Super Bowl because we were up there. But now
back-to-back loss. You see, the game against the Chiefs was the one. You had to win that because that would have put them away. We wouldn't have to even talk about them anymore.
The second half of that game just completely dumpster fire offensively, going to overtime, and
it took all my power not to text you when A.D. Mitchell scored for the Jets last week.
I saw your tweet. Did you tweet about it? I saw that. That was all that was needed to be done.
Because I'm like, well, the Jets are going to win here. because the guy they got from the Colts.
Saw that. It wasn't like a short touchdown.
No!
It was a bomb. It was a bomb of a touchdown.
Why are you giving away that guy?
Well, because he dropped the football at the 1 yard line once. That's one too many times.
Going in for a touchdown, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing ever.
We'll only allow Jonathan Taylor to do that, but A.D. Mitchell, no.
So here's a story that only about 8 of us care about in the Hot Mic Fantasy Challenge here, because your guy Bobby Pointer came up and made sure he.
Oh man, he does that every day. He lives and breathes this Hot Mic Fantasy Challenge. I'll tell you that.
He
much.
is guaranteed a winning record for the first time in the history of playing in this
he
league.
came up to my desk the other day just hooping and hollering about that. Holy cow, he's excited. He's excited.
Right now, do you know who's in last?
Yeah, you are.
I am in last.
You better get your act together.
I am in big time trouble here.
Now, here's the deal. I know you're the host of the show. I don't want you to keep pushing off this speech and bailing on it and hope everybody forgets. All right, we're gonna have to have Drew hold you accountable.
My first one was the fact I've already done it once is not good. I am tied though. I'm tied with Longnecker and Alex Berger upstairs, so I got a chance here. But literally, I have hitched my wagon to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Why would I do that when their Vikings quarterback
and they
can't
don't
throw
have
from
anybody
here
to throw to him? Oh my goodness, what a struggle it is for the old Vikings faithful these days.
Yeah, I know you love rubbing that
Bye,
in.
old Adam Thielen. Hate to see him leave. That's a tough go.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in the middle of the pack. I'm on the
third.
Colts track right now.
All
I started good. Now I'm tanking. I want that last
The best part
spot.
about our league is that first to last is separated by 3 games.
I know. Yeah,
that's what I love about it, man. It's tight.
Do I still have the highest scoring team and I'm in the middle of the road here?
Not anymore. You know who's got the highest scoring team? Your guy. Bobby's got it.
Look at this guy.
He racked up a ton on my team last week.
Well, his whole team's injured.
There we go. Everybody loves
teamed
hearing.
after Malik Neighbors, and that didn't go over well.
I've broken one of my cardinal rules is to talk about fantasy football because nobody gives a rip about it when they're done.
That is true.
Everybody else's fantasy team.
That is true.
Also, this just came in from Brett McMurphy, who works, I believe, for the On3 network now, reporting that Frisco is getting a bowl game again, and Missouri State is going to a bowl game in Frisco, Texas.
How about
Arkansas
Mo State
and Missouri State will play in a new bowl in Frisco, sources have said to On3 Sports. The new Frisco Bowl replaces the now defunct Bahamas Bowl. 1 bowl down, 40 to go. So Mo State is finally made it to Frisco.
I know.
They had to go to FBS football.
They had to bump up a level to get to the
here's my
the
point.
home side of the former national championship
This
team.
is what I'm talking about with FBS football. Like Bison fans, you could still go to Frisco. There's a bowl game there.
Yep. It's just good on Mo State. They had a
And
really,
that's again
really
my
impressive
second.
year.
That's my second point to it. That NDSU will be just fine.
Oh man,
at the next level. Mo State won 7 games.
Mo State would be in a bowl game like this. I have no doubts NDSU would be fighting for a chance at the college football playoffs.
Yes.
Once the eligibility or once they're allowed to do so.
James Madison is there. We know North Dakota State can do it. JMU. With our former colleague Logan Campbell, I'm sure he's going to tip over cars Saturday when they win the Sun Belt, and they're going to get in because they're going to be one of the top 5 ranked conference champions.
There is no doubt North Dakota State would be right in that conversation, and they would beat a lot of these teams. I feel like they would do great against Arkansas State. Whatever bowl they're playing in
first
Frisco.
off, they blew the doors off Mo State last year.
I know. I know.
That's the same team.
Right.
The Mo State team did not change anybody. The quarterback, who was a statue last year, is their quarterback here.
U of M transfer, right? They still have him at
Jacob
quarterback?
Clark.
Yeah, Jacob Clark.
Yep. They have the running back is back who didn't do anything last year. I mean, yes, it's that team. So my point being, hey, we don't get to go to Frisco. Yeah, you still can. There's a bowl game there.
I can't believe they got rid of the Bahamas Bowl. I look forward to that one every year, and now that one's defunct. You're telling me? Oh, what a shame.
Here's the thing. The new bowl, it's not at Toyota Stadium.
Oh,
it
it's
can't
not.
Because remember, it's under renovation. That's
that's right.
We're
So
moving
where are
to
they
Nashville.
playing this at?
We'll be at the Star. Did you get inside that last year when we were there?
No, I didn't get inside of it, but I've seen videos and pictures.
The Star is awesome.
We were on the outside.
It's really nice on the inside.
That's not extremely big for a.
It seats about 10,000.
Does it? Okay, I thought it was less. I thought it was way
for
less
Arkansas
than that.
State and
that's
Mo
gonna be,
State, it'll be perfect.
That's going to be perfect.
Actually, you know what? Ask Donovan Woolen or Ryan Jones about it next time you see him about playing inside the Star because they had half of their high school games are in there.
That's a pretty cool
Imagine
spot
that
to play
playing
for
high school football.
I'm sure they packed it up pretty well too.
So the game will be on December the 18th. Kickoff at 8 p.m. Central Time. I imagine ESPN will swoop in and get that game. But 6-6 Arkansas State against 7-5 Mo State will be the game.
That's going to be a barn burner and a half. I'll tell you that much.
You know what? I've already done dunking on this topic because I'm just done with it. But
what more can you say besides beating the dead horse on it?
It's the same like with attendance. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And there might be
deal.
something tied to it as well that fans are just sick of FCS football. Like, hey, if they do move to FBS, the fans would come, which I totally believe that would be the case.
Right. But then how long until that washes off? Give it 10 years, 15 years or whatever when they start beating up on everybody?
Honestly, Sam, tell me this, just imagine this. If you had UNLV coming here, Wyoming coming here, Nevada coming here, like, seriously, that's pretty darn cool.
That perks you up a little bit more than
it's not Murray State,
than St. Thomas,
right.
Murray State,
correct.
Towson. That gets you a little bit more excited, no doubt about that.
And that's no slight to those schools, and though they can take it as slight, I'm fine with that. But it's It's just how NDSU has positioned themselves so far ahead of the pack. And then they can play a non-conference game at West Virginia. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty
or
neat.
they go to play,
Power Four.
Purdue,
yeah,
Northwestern.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd
pretty.
be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool. I mean, that would pique interest, no doubt about that. But I think they would do well. They would do fantastic moving up that level.
Well, if Mo State proved it, Delaware did it. I think
Delaware had a good year too, right?
So, all right, bud, have a great call. You have another game coming up?
I do.
What do you got?
Spud St. Michael
Albertville.
Spud
hockey tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. If you haven't seen Joey Collins play,
so
tune in.
How many of the guys from last year's state championship team are back?
Quite a few.
Okay.
I mean, they had guys coming back from juniors to come back for this year. So new goaltender this year, but some of the guys have gone off to the next level.
Okay.
But there's a lot of young talent coming in and some returners as well. The sophomore classes look really good.
Really different for them to now be the hunted.
Oh man,
because they've never been in that spot before,
I said it last year. I'd be amazed if they didn't win the state championship. Then they go and do that, and I'll say it again this year. They're the top of the top right now.
Are they the favorites?
In my opinion, they're the top of the top right now.
That'd be a heck of a thing with football being as good as they were, and now hockey to do it again. Be a fun winter. Thanks for coming by.
No
Good to see you, my man. We'll see Sam
problem.
as part of Bison Game Day. Of course, he'll have the call tonight, and then patrolling the sidelines for Bison Hoops coming up on. You got a big day on Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy one.
Drink some water.
I'll try. That hasn't been my forte, but I'll try.
Sam Goetzinger joining us here on a Thursday. We'll break. We come back. Jory Collins will join us to recap last night's Bison victory over Montana State. Look ahead to their game with Weber coming up on Saturday. That's coming up when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. Final half hour of our show here on a busy Thursday. Hey, tomorrow, NDSCS head football coach Eric Issendorf going to join us. Izzy will be getting ready for the National Junior College D3 Football Championship game. The Wildcats out of Wapaton are playing in that on Saturday. He'll join us tomorrow on the show. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to our conversation each and every Thursday with Jory Collins. This is well-timed as the Bison women won last night. You saw the highlights to start our show over Montana State, a 25-point win. I wake up this morning and I look at the net rankings, and you are number 49. I know it's December, it's not March, but you got to feel pretty good about your program being in the top 50 in the country right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've played some good teams and played some good teams close and beat some good teams and just continuing to try to progress, Dom, as a program and just keep building this thing.
You mentioned in the postgame that was as proud of a team as you've ever been. Describe why about how you played last night.
Well, just coming off the road this weekend, it was a long Thanksgiving trip, and we just talked about difficulties getting home. We slept in the airport Saturday night, and then to turn around and try to get ready for this particular style of play and how hard Montana defends and forces turnovers. You just got to be your antenna's got to be turned up to 10 against them to be able to weather some of those things. You got to be a really resilient team because I told them, I said, hey, they're going to turn us over 3 times in a row, and maybe score 6 straight, and we got to be and we're going to break the press 3 times in a row and go get layups, and that's what the game is going to be because that's how they make it. And I thought we just stayed aggressive
And I thought our mentality was what I really, really, hope a team that we are like. They had it last night, and that's what I was probably most proud of.
And in fact, they did do that. I think there was one stretch that they did turn you over 3 times in a row and score maybe like 5 to 7 points. Knowing that's full coming, did you get frustrated? Or is like, okay, we knew this was going to happen?
No, I mean, they do it to everybody. That's what they do. I mean, they were second in the country in steals, second in the country in forced turnovers coming in, and we happened to be top 18th. I think they were 18th maybe in something, and we were 18th the other way. And I was like, hey, this is going to be a back and forth. That's just when people sell out to do one thing, they're going to get it done. It's like a running football team. When you're in the bone, you're going to pop one every once in a while. That's what you do. It's all the other stuff. Can you weather that? And once you break it, can you convert? Can we make plays in the half court? And we had so many players step up and be contributors. It was from everybody. Just made the right basketball play. I thought we played really unselfish. And it was I enjoyed watching them.
You made 11 threes. I know you've been aching for that to finally drop. Describe that of seeing the ball finally go through the hoop last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see Molly go 4 for 5 and just sharing, breaking the press, next pass, and there she is and knocking them down, and just to see her shoot it with confidence. Obviously, AK's shot the ball really well last 3 games here, and we know she was our best or second best three-point shooter last year and just got off to a slower start. And I think Marissa Frost is like 7 for her last 12 here in the last 3 games. So they're plenty capable of that. That's not a surprise. It just was a little slow in some big games early. You're like, if we had 1 or 2 or more of those go, we're right in there with Nebraska, right in there with Gonzaga. Yeah. And but that's how the game's played, and you got to make those plays. They did. We didn't. Last night we did.
Carrington Asp is becoming a standout player in front of our eyes. Double-double last night. Just how has her progression gone from game 1 when you saw against Northern Iowa to what you saw last night?
Well, I think game speed, is slowing down a little bit, and I think because she was here a whole semester early, that process is going a little faster than it would be for a normal freshman. I think she's pretty confident in what she can do in and around the basket. Plus, she had some great passes last night too, just in transition and good feel. And I challenged her yesterday to, hey, you're gonna get 25 minutes tonight. Can you get 10 rebounds? And she went out and got 10 rebounds, but was a high-level finisher. 5 assists. I mean, she's filling the stat sheet. Bring somebody in off the bench that gets 18, 10, and 5. I mean, that's pretty special.
6 in double figures last night. Just a total, complete effort. How you just got to be over the moon on how you played. Knowing, and I asked you this after the game, you don't have another home game here for another 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, it's, I thought, like I said, I thought we shared it well. I thought we were determined to try to beat the pressure and then just make the right basketball play. And whoever ended up with it was going to make the play. And we're confident that we got a big handful of people, that can finish those things. And last night we did. Obviously, we're not going to be back in our arena here for a while till after Christmas. So, our home crowd want to leave them with a good taste in their mouth and get them excited to come back out and see us and get ramped up for Summit League play.
Now you go back out. You got to go to Weber State, out to Ogden on Saturday to wrap up this challenge. And just how is it a good thing you're playing right away as well? Keep the momentum going from what you did last night.
Well, I think so. I think our players. We get through this one. You understand we got the road game, and then we go on the road next week to Eastern Illinois, and then kind of our California tournament to finish. First semester's winding down. It's December. They're seeing the end of first semester of school. There's a little bit of a breather right there for Christmas break, and you always want to go into Christmas feeling good about, where you're at, what direction you're heading. And that obviously big win last night, but it's not going to mean anything unless we go out and take care of business in the near future here as well. So I think we'll have some urgency, getting on the road tomorrow and going and playing Weber and our next 3 as well.
Are you settled on your rotation? You pretty good at where you're at right now?
Yeah. I mean, we're getting there. I'd still like to see a couple other people emerge. Mariley's getting in there. If Avery would have been wasn't in foul trouble last night, we were playing in a zone. She's normally not going to play 33 minutes. Amelia Hobson is somebody that we believe in. It just, with AK shooting the ball the way she has, it's hard to take her out. Just being the glue player she is for us defensively as well. So there's a couple more people I think that we're going to need and want. I think we're going to have the opportunity here in the next few games to stretch our lineup a little bit and hopefully get those guys some really good minutes and get them contributing.
Now, I wish I could show video of how you played in Florida, but that's the first time I can ever remember there was no video of games. So could just describe how well, because you won both games dominating. Did you play as well as the scores indicate is maybe the best way to ask it?
I thought we did play well in Florida, Dom. And I thought, Campbell was a little bit more – they were a pressing team as well. Both those teams pressed us quite a bit. So that was good preparation for last night's game. Each one of those teams had unique things they were really good at, and then they had some deficiencies in areas. And I thought, our coaches did a good job putting a game plan together. Our girls went out and executed it for the most part. And I thought we showed up. It obviously was a fun trip being in Jacksonville. We had a great Thanksgiving meal together, a lot of family there too. But I thought they were pretty businesslike about it and showed up ready to play in both those. Those were early games.
Yeah.
I mean, those were 11 a.m.ers. And they showed up, no shoot around, basically some film and breakfast in the morning and get to the arena and play. And I thought we handled it really well.
Did I see a photo? Is their basketball court gray in North Florida?
Yeah, it's a little bit. It looks better in person than it does probably on film. That's like TCU. I don't know if you've.
Yeah.
TCU's looks terrible on film, I think, but when you're there, you don't notice it as much. It was kind of one of those. They had a nice campus. I really thought I really enjoyed it.
That's the University of North Florida is where the Bison were playing at. What was the Thanksgiving meal? Where did you guys end up for Thanksgiving in Jacksonville?
We went to a restaurant called Cooper's Hawk. They have one of those at the Plaza in Kansas City. I didn't know it was a chain.
Oh, okay.
But man, we had all the fixings. It was good. We had a pumpkin cheesecake for dessert. I had a good bottle of wine. It was a really good Thanksgiving meal.
Now, so you go and you play great, and you alluded to this a little bit earlier. Getting home turned into a planes, trains, and automobiles kind of deal?
Oh, man. Yeah, delays, and then, it's always fun when they board you on the plane in a rush because you got to get out of there, and then you sit there for an hour and 45 minutes or 2 hours like we did in Minneapolis, and then the pilot's time out, and then you have to get off, and then your next plane's in 4 hours. So you just lay down, and we found some mats there. They had some really nice 2-inch cushiony mats that you had in kindergarten. You remember that one? You had to take your nap in kindergarten.
Oh, man.
So we found all those for the girls and laid down and took a little nap.
That's the
got back Sunday morning like at 8:30.
Division I basketball, right? What they don't know,
right, baby,
right?
just rolling.
So you get this now, and obviously summer league play is not that far off. Are you looking yet at what everybody else is doing? Is it too early?
I don't look too much. Our coaching staff does, Dom, and I always ask them, who's playing well. Yeah. I don't spend a lot of time on that yet. I will over Christmas break. I'll dive in and probably take a look. We got plenty of time this year. I'll probably do a deeper dive. I'm about to do a deeper dive on our own team here.
Yeah.
After our game Saturday, and just do some self-evaluation there. But I'll spend a lot of time over Christmas kind of just looking at our upcoming games in the league, and I could give you a lot more information about them after that.
I wanted to ask, I have a couple other emails come in last week asking about Avery and the way she's playing, and I'll ask you this, maybe the best way to phrase it. Did the Nebraska game unlock another aspect of her game where she's taken this now to a different level that we haven't seen yet?
I think you'd have to ask her that, Dom. I think she came into this year with some confidence and I try to hype her up as best I can. Yep. We went into the Nebraska game, and I said, hey, you need to try to go out there and be the best player on the floor, and I thought she did in that particular game, on that particular day. I think she believes in what she can do, and then now has the mentality to go out and be assertive about being that player on a nightly basis. And she does against teams like last night. It's hard to get her multiple touches when they're fronting the post and switching everything. She's got to get it in space and do all that. But I thought she was still great last night. She's going to have some games coming up where she'll be a focal point and hopefully get, 14, 15 attempts in and around. But, people are making a pretty deliberate effort to not let her touch it. She's shooting such a high percentage from the field that it's almost an automatic basket when she does get it around there.
It was fun to watch last night, bud. Congrats on the win. Safe travels to you. Is this a new state? Have you been to Utah before?
I've been to Utah, but I've never been to Weber and never been to, I think it's Ogden.
It's really pretty out there.
I've heard great things. It is beautiful. I'm excited to see it.
Good luck on Saturday. We'll talk next week, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Jory Collins joining us, North Dakota State women's basketball head coach. Bison with a 25-point win last night over Montana State. Again, now 49 in the net rankings. They're a top 50 team in the country, folks, for the Bison women. That's pretty good stuff. All right, we'll take our final break. We come back, got a couple of emails to get to, and we'll get you ready for a great Sports Thursday. NFL starting tonight as well. We'll preview that one. Hot Mic Wraps after this. All right, wrapping up our Thursday Spectacular. Mentioned tomorrow we'll get a preview of the Science Wildcats. We'll have NFL picks with my dad to wrap up the week. Looking forward to our show tomorrow. Email came in. Dom, I missed the beginning of the show. Heresy, never do that again. How many tickets have been sold for the football game on Saturday? Not enough. I can tell you right now, I'm on the website right now, and there are swaths of good seats available on the 50-yard line to right behind the Bison bench. I mean, you name it, you can pretty much. It's like the old adage. I heard this about the L.A. Kings before Wayne Gretzky got there. They'd say, "What time's the game?" And the Kings would say, "Well, what time can you get here?" We're not in that boat, but it's not great. I mean, you can pretty much sit wherever you want right now in a few sections. Not even talking the main visitor section on the west end of the state, or the south end, of the stadium. So right now, if I was a betting man, 9,500 maybe for the game. That's not good. Not good. That's something we'll probably hit on Bison Game Day. I'm going to make a producing decision now that we're going to have to talk about it because I don't know where everybody is. Dobbs, since 2019, minus the COVID season, the second round has only seen the top 8 seeds lose 5 times. And of those 5, 4 of them have been to Valley teams. 2019, Illinois State won on the road against Central Arkansas. Northern Iowa won in Brookings. Austin Peay beat Sac State. 2021, the Jackrabbits won at Sac State. And then, of course, 23, the Bison over Montana State. It's invariably been very home-dominated. Last year, all top 8 seeds won. We remember that. We had no upsets. I don't believe that to be the case this time around. I think you're going to see some road teams win. Obviously, we talked about the game in Missoula with the Jackrabbits. The Coyotes against the Mercer Bears is one that's got everybody's attention. That potentially could be an upset there. I think the game in Tarleton, you got to tell me if Jerry Kaminsky's playing. I know it's been close to the vest on what UND's starting quarterback situation is. I think UND's physicality is something that Tarleton hasn't seen, and we'll get our full FCS preview of the second round tomorrow on the show. But those 3 stand out to me. Rhode Island against Cal Davis, we'll see. It's a 3,000-mile trip for Rhode Island. That's a long way to go. Abilene against Stephen F. I like Abilene in that game. Abilene's the lower seed of the 10. I think they can go and win against Stephen F. That's a game they already beat earlier this season. What else am I missing? The game here, I think the Bison are a heavy favorite to win that game. Let's see. The Villanova-Lehigh game, it's a pick'em game there as well. Lehigh, no disrespect, their coach, Kevin Cale, was the coach of the year, the Eddie Robinson winner. They're 12-0. Villanova's got a heck of a chance to win that game. Any great shakes would surprise me there. The other one that I feel really comfortable about is Montana State. Great. Shout out to Yale. Unbelievable win that they had against Youngstown. I don't think Montana State's going to have any trouble with the Bulldogs. Maybe for a little bit of a quarter. One last email before we get to what to watch. Dom, I'm going to challenge your thought process on this one. Oh, that's scary. In D2, Jack Strand is that candidate that's a good player with astonishing stats, but plays for a team that has never won their conference or made the playoffs. Judd Novak of Kutztown is the NDSU quarterback of the field. A favorite to win the national championship, a winner his team is undefeated. Number 2 in passing efficiency, 25 touchdowns against 0 picks. Who gets your vote? The last guy. 25 touchdowns with 0 interceptions, yeah. And I love Jack. We've had him on the show, and he's going to, I think, get a shot at the NFL. Winning has to matter. Somebody tell me that. I mean, we win all your games, man. I mean, isn't that the nature of what we do? All right, let's do some What to Watch before we get out of here. Email will fire me up right before we're done. All right, What to Watch brought to us by Northwestern Mutual. I mentioned Sam's got hockey tonight. St. Michael, Albertville, and Moorhead. Note the start time, 6 o'clock on WDAY Extra for that one tonight. NFL begins tonight, Week 14, big one. Cowboys and the Lions, 7:15 on Amazon Prime for that one. The Wild, can they keep it going against the Flames, 8 o'clock. And the Wolves playing the Pelicans again. Hopefully it's not a tight one, 7 o'clock on FanDuel Sports North. Our thanks to Drew Trafton, to Baylor Dinger, and Cora Metcalf, Sam Goetzinger, and Jory Collins. If you missed any of the show, you can podcast it later today at Inforum.com. You can watch a full replay on WDAY+. Have a great Thursday, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.